This may look like just another day at the shooting range, but today, the male participants were joined by their wives and girlfriends. They're taking a couples shooting class, an introduction for women who have increasingly become part of the population of gun owners in America.
We have a lot of guns at home because we just do, and then I don't know how to use them all. So then I got my own now, and that's what I'm practicing. So whenever I do come into something, and hopefully not, then I know what to do with it.
Gomez is one of the millions of women who have become new gun owners in the past 2 years. She's taking a class put on by Ronnie Jeffries. He's a law enforcement officer in Bakersfield, California. He started his company in 2020 after receiving threats to his family's safety and realizing he'd never taught his wife how to use the guns in their own home.
There was a Facebook post by some anonymous source, and they basically said that they were going to follow officers home and they were going to wait till they went to work and attack their families. I felt like at that point, like I had a responsibility to make sure that like the families of law enforcement were trained.
5 women and his wife showed up to his first class, and the demand for women's only classes has only gone up since then.
I went from that one 5-lady class that I first taught, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago now, to where I'm having 18, 20 people in a class.
That's partly because since late 2019, women have become nearly 50% of new gun owners. And even those who don't own yet are starting to overcome the stereotypes that prevented them from learning how to shoot before.
I think for the most part, we probably as girls aren't typically introduced to those types of things early on, and so the initial interest in education isn't there, but I think this is definitely something to explore.
Although Ortiz has gone shooting with her husband before, this was her first class. She convinced her friend Angela Torres and her partner to tag along.
In the past, I was like, oh, I don't need a gun. Now it's more for safety, I guess. And I guess just because now that I have kids, I thought, oh, it might be good to learn.
This was her first time shooting a gun.
Oh, shot.
My heart was racing when I first felt pulling the trigger. I was just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually doing this.
Jeffries finds comfort in being there for first-timers like Torres.
Women specifically need to have that education because, a lot of times they're the ones at home protecting the household. So in my opinion, I would prefer to have my wife better trained than me because she's the one that's going to be protecting my kids, and ultimately those are the most important things to me.
He hopes to continue helping women learn the basics of firearms and grow the confidence they need to defend themselves. For Annenberg Media, I'm Cassie Esparza.